Jenna managed a tight first smile. Just as she was about to reply, Mark snapped his fingers. I almost forgot to tell you the craziest thing. We're all from the same area, you know Creed too. Before he moves to New York, he grew up in the same region as you. His town was right next to yours. Look, here's a copy of his old it. I'm not kidding. I can even prove it. And then Mark switched to fluent perfect Spanish. Mark's Spanish cut through the party's buzz. Like a knife, Jenna's my frowncy. Her champagne flute trembling in her hand. Leo would be leaning against the bar with a smirk. Straightened up, his eyes narrowing. Friends, who'd spent weeks mocking me in their secret language, exchanged panicked glances, their laughter dying mid-chuckle. Creed's mother is Puerto Rican, Mark said, his tone casual but sharp, like he was commenting on the weather. He grew up speaking Spanish at home. Fluent native-level Spanish. He understood every word you said at the party. Every joke about him being an idiot. Every detail about you and Leo. Every lie you told while you played him for a fool. The room went silent. Guests nearby, drawn by the tension, leaned in, their whispers fading as they caught wind of the confrontation. Jenna's face strained of color. First pink, then white, then a sickly shade of gray. She stumbled back, nearly tripping over the hem of her gown. No, she whispered, her voice cracking. That's not true. He never said anything. He didn't react. He didn't know. Mark laughed a cold, humorless sound. Oh, he knew. The night you left him waiting for 2 hours. While you hooked up with Leo, he knew when you asked him to buy Plan B, knowing full well who it was for. He knew when you dragged him hiking, using him as a lookout. While you fought in the woods, he knew when you faked that limp to get sympathy. After he fell off a cliff and nearly died. Guests erupted from the crowd. Leo stepped forward, his hands balled into fists. You're lying. This is some sick joke. Creed would have said something if he knew. He's too much of a softie to keep quiet, is he? Mark pulled out his phone, tapped the screen a few times and held it up. A video began to play. Clear, crisp footage of Jenna and Leo on the blanket in the woods. Her slinky nightgown, his hands on her skin. Their laughter. Their explicit comments about me guarding the trail. Like a clueless puppy. The audio was crystal clear. Every vulgar detail echoing through the party speakers, which Mark had discreetly connected to his phone. Jenna screamed, lunging for the device, but Mark stepped back, holding it out of reach. He recorded it. Mark said he followed you that day. After you lied about your stomach ache. He watched you too, listened to you, and then he fell and you didn't care. You stayed there getting off. While he clung to a tree root begging for help, he heard you moaning through the phone. While he tumbled down that embankment, he heard you call him dramatic when he told you he was hurt. Tears streamed down Jenna's face, but they weren't tears of remorse. They were tears of panic, of humiliation. Her friends scattered, some slipping out the back door, others pretending they didn't know her, their shoulders hunched with shame. Leo, once so confident, looked like he wanted to disappear, his gaze darting to the exit. You're lying, Jenna sobbed, but her voice lacked conviction. Creed loves me. He would never do this. He's on his way. He'll tell you it's a lie. Mark raised an eyebrow. Is it? Let's check. He pulled up a flight tracker app and projected it onto the large screen behind the bar. Clear as day. A Delta flight from JFK to Charles de Gaulle. Departing 2 hours ago. He's on his way to Paris. He took that transfer he was offered months ago. You know, the one he turned down because he said he didn't want to leave you. Mark paused, letting the words sink in. He accepted it the night you asked him to buy Plan B. He packed his bags while you whispered to Leo on the phone about your little hiking adventure. He left this morning without a goodbye, without a note, because he's done with you, done with your lies, done with being your fool. Jenna collapsed into a nearby chair, her body shaking. The party had devolved into chaos, just taking photos, whispering, pointing. Her parents, who'd flown in for the engagement party, stood in the corner, their faces ashen, their eyes filled with disappointment. Her father stormed over his jaw tight. Is this true, Jenna? He asked, his voice low and dangerous. Did you cheat on him? Did you mock him? Did you leave him for dead in the woods? Jenna couldn't answer. She just cried, her shoulders heaving. Leo tried to slip away, but Mark blocked his path. Where are you going, Leo? Don't you want to finish what you started? Don't you want to tell everyone how you convinced her to string Creed along? While you had your fun, how you laughed at him behind his back, how you didn't care when he fell off that cliff. Leo's face turned red with anger and embarrassment. It's none of your business. This is between me and Jenna, is it? Mark pulled out another piece of evidence. An email chain between Leo and Jenna, dated 6 months ago, long before I proposed. He's rich, stable, and stupid enough to marry me. Jenna had written, I'll keep him around for the lifestyle, but you're the one I want in bed. Once we're married, we can keep it a secret. He'll never find out. Leo's reply, perfect. I'll be your dirty little secret. And when you get tired of him, we'll take his money and run. The room exploded. Jenna's mother burst into tears, muttering about how she'd raised her better. Guests shouted accusations. Cheater, liar, monster. While others recorded the scene on their phones. The footage already destined for social media. Mark leaned down, his face inches from Jenna's. He didn't want to do this. He said quietly so only she could hear. He loved you more than you deserved. He was going to let you go quietly, move to Paris, start over, never look back. But then I showed him the texts from your friends. The ones where you laughed about his injury. The ones where you called him a simp. Who'd forgive you anything? Ones where you planned to keep using him. Even after the wedding, he realized you didn't deserve mercy. You deserve to be exposed for what you are. Jenna looked up, her eyes filled with hatred. hatred. I'll ruin him, she spat. I'll tell everyone he's a stalker. I'll say he made up the video. I'll sue him for defamation. Mark laughed. Good luck. He has receipts, texts, videos, emails, witness statements from the hiker who found him bleeding on the mountain. You have nothing but lies. And even if you did try to ruin him, he's in Paris. He's moving on. You're stuck here with your reputation in tatters. Your family ashamed of you and a life built on deception that just came crashing down. Straighten up, addressing the room. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Mark Creed's best friend. He asked me to pass along a message. He's sorry you all got dragged into this, but he wanted the truth to come out. He wanted you to know who Jenna really is. To Jenna, Leo, and your little group of friends, Karma's a bitch, and she's just getting started. With that, Mark turned and walked out, leaving Jenna to face the wreckage of her life. The party dissolved into chaos, guests storming out, reporters who'd somehow caught wind of the drama, pushing their way in, Jenna's parents arguing with her, Leo trying to sneak out the back door, only to be confronted by a group of angry guests.